Do you have a minute and a half, 2-minute song we could probably do? We could use for credits out, like an outro.
Yeah, I got a song.
Jr. talking about the project with music and woodshop. So would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Jerry Gorham Jr. I've been playing guitar for 30 years, and not only do I play, I also build guitars. And what we're talking about is making Stratocaster bodies right now, and that's what we've been working on in the woodshop. And this is a guitar body I made probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, believe it or not. It looks like it's 30 years old, but that's kind of the idea. You want to make stuff that looks authentic.
Yep.
And this is certainly an authentic piece.
So with the project, are all the kids doing their own individual guitar? Are they working on one?
Well, right now we're working on making templates.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's the way you make a body. Mm-hmm. It's like a master template, so they all kind of come out the same. Mm-hmm. So Tom and I have been working on that. And then once that's all set, then we're going to start making bodies. And I think we have a few kids interested in making bodies. And I'm going to donate some wood so they can use that.
Mm-hmm. So did you build that one? Or?
Yes, yeah, I did. I made this in my shop again, 3 or 4 years ago, with the same templates that we're using in the shop now, and we're making copies of those. And then I'm going to also donate the copies of the templates to the school, so years down the road, kids can make bodies. This is a '65 Stratocaster, and so you can kind of get the ideas.
It looks really similar.
Oh yeah, well again, the templates make it real consistent. Mm-hmm. And with the old guitars, like they started making Stratocasters in '54. And the belly cut, or the rear contour, on a '50s guitar, way up here, and it's really scooped out. But by the mid-'60s, because they were making guitars so fast and the production was just crazy, things got less and less sanded and that kind of stuff. But this is swamp ash, and that's what they used back in the day. It just has a nice tone to it. But if you made a guitar out of, say, like maple, it would, which is what the necks are made out of, it'd be a lot heavier and have a lot more like a brilliant sound to it. Well, I don't know if it's cool for guitar bodies. They all have their application, depending on what you're doing. And if you make an acoustic guitar, they use spruce for the tops, and so depending, again, the application, what you use the thing for. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the steps of making a hollow body guitar with 1-inch rough pine. We're going to make a lamination as opposed to using 2-inch stock. Now we've cross-cut our material and we want to have good square edges for our glue up, so we're going to bring it over to the joiner. So now that we've got our 2 square edges, we're going to come over to the glue up bench. They honestly thought, God love kids, they thought I was spraying lemon frosting on it. They never saw yellow glue. It's good stuff. I'm going to bring it over to the bar clamps. In the woodworking field, there are a lot of different ways of gluing panels up. Some people glue it with the annual rings, opposing each other. Some people feel that's not necessary. So I'm going to just go with the technique I've always used, and to not bore the audience with a bunch of woodshop tech, I'm going to just go ahead and do it. And that'll help hold it together. We're also going to do another old technology trick. Because the wood isn't naturally flat and straight across, and we don't want the pressure in the clamps to make us buckle. We're going to use those pieces of wood and scrap, those cawls, like you see in this glue up. All right, so I got my piece in the glue rack. It'll take the glue at least 24 hours to cure. We've got two blanks that have been glued up for at least 24 hours in clamps. And we have our two templates, 63 strat template for the front, 63 strat template for the back. Here and backwards. That's okay. So you can see kind of what the wood has to be, where it has to go. So before we start cutting out our template, we want to make sure that the wood is surfaced. It's plain, flat, smooth. Okay. It may be kind of difficult to pick it up with the camera, but you can pretty much see by the coloration from the rough surface right from the sawmill, where if you were really rub your hand up against this, you'd get 1,001 splinters. The relatively smooth texture left over from the surface blank. What we'll do is we'll orient, we'll arrange our template and try to compensate for knots, defects in the material, and the grain. Okay, so the template's been traced onto the blank. We only got one small little pin knot here, but we can live with that. We want to avoid the wood around the knot in that knot area, just for cosmetic reasons. And a lot of times if we have dead wood on the knot, the wood around it's going to be very, very weak. So we've drilled the pilot holes for the dowel pins. You can see how these pins are set into the body, only just so deep. And it's to help align the template. And the template theoretically should just drop on here. See how that goes nicey like that? So now it's somewhat affixed to the wood, so when you route it, it doesn't dance around and you get a nice accurate cut. What we're using here in the router is called a trace cutting bit, and these ball bearings here right along the edge of the template. Might be illustrated better with this template. And then the cutting surface will cut the material below. I'm just going to set that up right now. So we'll just start right here. Okay? And you kind of want to roll the router into the piece. You don't want to just go directly straight down. All right, so that's the preliminary interior route. So we got the neck pocket, the pickup cavity and control cavity, the trim along